Trump has officially declared Obama as a co-conspirator and attempting to undermine his administration. This is speaking of his first term go around. Now, apparently it was some evidence handed over to one of the departments, I believe the Department of Justice, but it was some evidence handed over that, well, they had Obama, Team Democrat, some Clintons, some other people, which they wouldn't really go too much into detail about, but Obama was surely mentioned. And the Clinton is, I just guessed, because, they also got their hands in a lot of stuff. But without a doubt, Obama was definitely mentioned. Not only that, Russia has hit the capital of Ukraine, Kiev. Apparently there were 14 people killed. Amongst those 14, 3 were children. And to be honest with you, Russia could have been hit the capital. They could have been hit the capital, but they chose not to. But when you got Ukraine officially declaring war as if, the past few years was non-existent. He officially declares war. It's like, well, this is what it is you asked for. You see, I constantly say this because, this is exactly what it is. And there's nothing that's going to be able to stop it. The best thing I can do is to recommend that you walk another route. You take a different path. Because at this moment, everything is leading everybody into war. Every continent upon the face of the earth. Because they have to bring society as a whole. And society is not limited just to the United States, but society is something that's global. Society is something that's global. They trying to bring everybody into chaos. It started off when he got into office. One of the very first things he did was DEI, and he knew the DEI was gonna piss off the liberals. He knew that for a fact. Then he moved on to immigration. He knew immigration would begin to piss off all the foreign nationals. Doesn't matter where they from, as long as they not black or white, it's gonna piss them off because when you using ICE as a tool, everybody that's not black or white, which are the only two people that can say under this quote unquote nation, this United States of America, are really the only two people that really belong. Those are the two people that the Constitution was made for them. Then and Native Americans, kind of, sort of, but they really exclude them because at the time that the Constitution was made, black people were slaves, so they were a part of society in a low manner, and then you had the white people who were the slave owners, who were a part of society in a high manner. So in reality, the government was made and created for black and white people, which is why it is he said what he said about the 13th Amendment. So he did DEI, then he did immigration. And then it was the Epstein list. The Epstein list was to piss off the rednecks, piss off all of the Republicans that voted for him, that support him, that cheer him on. It was to rile them up because for months and months and months and months, they have said that they were going to release the Epstein files. They have even went on their campaign. People, a part of his campaign, had went on tour speaking about the Epstein list, talking about how when they get in office, the list is going to be released, and then they got in office and they constantly championed the Epstein list when Epstein was arrested about 6 years ago. Why are they bringing up something from 6 years ago? Why was the Epstein list so important? Because Republicans know and understand that it is people in their government that are corrupted and are doing immoral things on a global scale. They know this, but instead of actually paying attention and understanding that it's both sides, they believe it's just one side. And this is why they were screaming and begging for the list. And he went for months and months, and even the people under him spoke about the Epstein list for months and months. And it got to a point where he said there is no list, and he gaslit the people. So since he's got in office, he's pissed off liberals, He's pissed off immigrants. He's even pissed off his own people by telling them there is no Epstein list. Also by sending money to Israel, when he was also a very vocal advocate on Joe Biden and his ideals was sending money to Ukraine. Yet he gets in office and he begins to send money to Israel. So, he pissed off his people with that. And the next step is Obama. Black people usually look at Obama as a symbol, a role model. I don't know. I never I know what Obama really is, so I can't tell you what black people view him as. But I'm just gonna go over before what I knew who he was. A good man, a stand-up man, a strong black man. One of the best role models in which it is a young black man can have. This is what I used to think. He's not, but this is what I used to think Obama was. But the sad part is, a lot of black people still view Obama as something good, and it's really because the media portrays him as something good, and not knowing the real details of his deeds that he does in the dock. It's understandable why black people look at him as a symbol of, good. But the next step, because all those steps were also supposed to piss off black people. All those other things were supposed to piss off black people, because I don't know if y'all noticed or not, but when the DEI started, they kept saying black people, black people, black people, black people. DEI was never made for black people. It's never made for black people. It was always for the liberals, the people that follow the liberal doctrine. Then the immigrants and stuff like that. They hoped and figured that would reel the black people in because of the ties in which it is blacks and Mexicans have. You believe it or not, we are pretty close. We are really close, black and brown. Believe it or not, we are really close. We have our disputes, but black and brown is really close. They love us, we love them. And really it'd be white people that get in the way of that, but I'm not gonna get too deep into detail about that. So they was hoping that'd piss us off. Then the Epstein list, with the gaslighting and stuff like that, they riled up a few people. Like, fuck, to be honest with you, they riled up a lot of people, because not only did they sit in our face for months and tell us that they were going to release the list, they up and say there is no list, which is just like, it's either you was lying beforehand or you lying now, but either way, you a fucking liar. And you lie for what? Or you lying for what? And for people that's looking for an Epstein list, all you gotta do is go type in a flight log list. The flight log list been out for years. Almost since the beginning of his arrest, the flight logs have been out. So you wanna know who was on the island and who was a part of the evil and wicked deeds and which it is he was doing. It was a private island. So anybody that went to the island, common sense. Anybody who went to the island was a part of the bullshit. You don't need to see the client list when you got the flight log list. That's enough. My purpose for going over all this is because I need people to understand that they are making their best attempt. They are putting forth their best effort in order to piss every single person in this country off. And if it's not clear that they trying to piss everybody off, if it's not clear that they trying to get the people riled up and angered, you have to do some research, which I always recommend doing research. You should never just take what somebody say as word of mouth. Look it up for yourself. Study to show thyself approved unto God. That's a scripture that I can't remember the chapter and verse, but it's a scripture. You can look that up also. But they trying to piss people off. They doing everything in their power to piss people off. And the Bible speaks about an uproar, violence and blood. So what I'm saying is stay out of it. The entire goal is to piss you off. The entire goal is to bring you into some type of war so that you may fight it because you feel as though you fighting for what's right. Because you feel as though you're doing what's right. You know, we have no role in fighting in their wars. Let them fight their own wars. If they feel as though it's time for violence, or they feel as though it's time for riots, they feel as though it's time to bring hell, then let them do it. You mind your business. Stay out of it. All praise to the Most High.